The hidden cost of becoming a dad after 50 that no one told you about. Let's talk about the part of older fatherhood that does not make it into those Hallmark commercials or those movies or any of those things. You love your child, we know that. There's no question about it. But some days you look around and quietly ask yourself, did I wait too long? Well, the simple answer is no, you did not wait too long. And if you and your spouse have a burning desire for a child, along with being physically and mentally prepared, then you will be fine. Now, notice I did not say it will be easy. You will have to parent differently than how you were raised. The world we grew up in, that doesn't exist anymore. The music they listen to and what they watch, it's all very different. They're growing up with new technology that literally changes overnight. So for us to keep up, that's gonna be a tricky one. Now, speaking of keeping up, get ready for slang. You know we had slang when we were kids. Now, today they have new slang. My 7-year-old already uses words like sigma, riz, sus, yacht, slay, ick, and of course, bruh. Bruh. We hear it all the time. Well, here are some real thoughts that I know you've had because I've had them too. Can I even afford to raise a child? You may be struggling to pay the bills or plan for retirement. Now you're adding childcare, car seats, pediatrician bills, and another mouth to feed. Folks, formula is expensive. Yes, you can afford a child. It may require sacrifices and making coffee at home instead of stopping at Starbucks, but it can be done if you want it bad enough. Another question is, will I have enough energy or years to be there for the big stuff? Hey, the math, it ain't mathing right now. When you realize you'll be 70 years old at their high school graduation, that's when it really dawns on you. But maybe you could be on the front row with your walker, wearing an oxygen cannula at their graduation and cheering them on. Yeah, that'll be exciting. All right, so maybe I'm being a little extreme there. Okay, there's a lot of very healthy 70-year-olds out there. I get that, but I've thought about this many times, and at the end of the day, it really depends on how well you take care of yourself. There will be health problems, aches and pains, but are you eating right, exercising, and getting regular checkups? We all know it starts with good health. I miss my freedom. Yeah, I do miss my freedom too, but that's okay. Sometimes you just want to be in silence and make plans without a babysitter. Believe me, being in silence these days, that is a true luxury. Yes, it is. As guys, we fear losing our independence and freedom. You may not see your buddies as often as you would like. You may miss some Sunday football games and maybe lights out for guys' night. But it doesn't mean you have to ditch your friendships and become a hermit. Instead of guys' night, it may be catching up in a local restaurant for dinner. Work with your wife to figure out how you can still be a strong couple while still maintaining your independence. And by the way, each year you will get more time back as your child gets older and more independent. All right, here's the elephant in the room. It's a big one. Get ready. My relationship with my wife is not what it used to be. Passion. It takes a hit when everyone is exhausted and the only thing you're making together is another Costco list. It's tough. Everyone is tired, everyone is stressed, but you both still have desires that have to be met. You have to make time for intimacy, romance, and sex. Not just quickies, real lovemaking that takes time where you share thoughts, feelings, emotions, and become vulnerable with each other. Now, don't get me wrong, quickies, they got their purpose, but they're very quick. Yeah, that's my joke. But if you don't make time for true romance, the relationship will fail and you will become roommates. Passion, connection, and commitment help cement the relationship over the long haul. This is why your relationship with your wife is the most important relationship of your life. Think about this. When you're on an airplane, they always say, if your oxygen mask drops, place it on yourself before you place it on your child. I know that sounds crazy, but think about it. If you can't save yourself, then you're not going to be able to save your child. So, how are you going to raise your child in a safe, loving home if the two of you can't save yourselves or the relationship. When that kind of stuff is happening, your children feel it. They know something's up. You can't hide it. It's in the air. Another one is, I love my child, but I miss who I used to be. The version of you that had hobbies, cash flow, and a semi working back, it's calling your name, but you can't hear them because you're too busy living in your past instead of looking forward to your future. I've said it before. I spent more than a decade on TV. I used to bench 315 pounds, had lots of friends, and a phenomenal social life. I'd be lying if I said I didn't occasionally miss it, but I think I miss more of the idea of it than the actual lifestyle. After my son was born, we entered a new chapter in our lives. My wife adapted much easier than I did. Now, I actually like having a smaller circle of friends. Spending time at home with my family, having a house full of neighborhood kids eating our food and constantly laughing, you can't beat it. It's actually a lot of fun. I never thought I would say that, but it is. So embrace your new normal. It is rewarding. And here's the thing though, you're not alone. Older dads don't get the same cultural runway that younger dads do. We carry extra weight physically, financially, emotionally. But here's the truth, I'm standing in it right now. Regret, it's a feeling, not a verdict. You can feel it and still show up today. You can wish some things were different and still be the father your kid needs. If friends or relatives are dragging you down or you don't meet their expectations, that's a weird one. Meet their expectations. You'll be amazed at how many people expect you to meet their expectations. Create boundaries and don't allow them to influence you. You may even have to create quite a bit of distance. If you're carrying shame about it, hand it over. It is too damn heavy to walk with. You should not have any shame over these things. You're in control. You're the dad. You have a spouse. They have a mom. You know best. If you want help rewriting the story you're telling yourself about fatherhood, I'm right here. I'm figuring it out as well. Feel free to share this with anyone you feel may benefit from this. Your family and your kids are counting on you.